At 72, he thought the problem was just age. Every morning, Harold would stand in front of the bathroom mirror, pull at his shirt, and stare at the same swollen belly that seemed to get worse no matter how little he ate. He had already cut back on bread. He stopped eating late. He even started forcing himself to walk after dinner, even when his knees begged him not to, but nothing changed. His stomach still felt hard. His body still felt heavy. And some days, even after using the bathroom, he walked out feeling like his system never truly emptied. That was the part that started to scare him. Not just the weight, not just the fat, but the feeling that something inside him had slowed down so much that his body was holding on to what it should have been getting rid of. What Harold did not understand, and what most seniors are never clearly told, is that after 60, the body can start moving differently in silence. Your digestion slows. Your bathroom rhythm changes. Your gut may stop clearing as well as it used to. And when that happens, your belly can start looking bigger, your waist can feel tighter, and your whole body can feel sluggish, swollen, and stuck. Harold learned that the hard way. He spent months listening to the usual advice. Eat less. Move more. Take this powder. Drink that tea. But none of it explained why his stomach still felt backed up, why his body still looked puffy, or why he felt heavier even when he was trying so hard. Then one small daily change led to another, and slowly his body started responding in a way he had not felt in years. In this video, we will reveal 5 daily habits that may help your body clear trapped waste, support natural fat removal, and make your stomach feel lighter again, ranked from the least powerful to the most powerful. And wait until you hear number 2, because it sounds so ordinary that most people ignore it. But for some seniors, it changes everything. I also placed the studies and supporting notes in the description if you want to look into them for yourself. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you? I read through the comments every day, and I truly try to respond because your story may sound a lot like someone else's. Now let's begin with habit number 5, because this is where Harold's turnaround quietly started. Habit number 5. Drink hot lemon water first thing every morning. This sounds almost too simple to be real, but the science behind it is surprisingly strong, and it starts with something called your migrating motor complex. Your migrating motor complex is basically a cleaning wave that moves through your digestive system when your stomach is empty, sweeping out waste, undigested particles, and yes, trapped fat. Think of it like a self-cleaning cycle in an oven. It only runs when there is nothing else going on inside. When you wake up in the morning, your migrating motor complex has been working through the night, but it needs a final push to complete its job. That is where hot lemon water comes in. A 2017 study published in the European Journal of Pharmaceutical and Medical Research found that warm water consumption on an empty stomach increased gastric motility by approximately 30% compared to room temperature water. Gastric motility is just a fancy way of saying how fast and efficiently your digestive system moves things along. When you add lemon to that warm water, you introduce citric acid, which stimulates bile production in your liver. Bile is your body's natural fat emulsifier. It breaks large fat globules into tiny droplets so your intestines can either absorb what is needed or package the rest for elimination. A study from the World Journal of Gastroenterology showed that enhanced bile flow directly increased fecal fat content by around 20% in participants who maintained the habit consistently for just 2 weeks. That means more bad fat leaving your body every single time you go to the bathroom. The best way to do this is incredibly straightforward. Boil water and let it cool just slightly so it is hot but comfortable to drink. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into it. Do not use bottled lemon juice because the pasteurization process destroys many of the active compounds. Drink it slowly within the first 15 minutes of waking up, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything else. The temperature matters because hot water relaxes the smooth muscles of your intestinal walls, which allows the cleaning wave to finish its sweep more effectively. The lemon matters because that citric acid triggers a cascade of bile release that your body desperately needs after a full night of fasting. Many people report that within 3 to 5 days of starting this habit, Their bowel movements become more frequent, smoother, and noticeably different in composition. That difference is fat being expelled. It is the simplest habit on this list, but it creates the foundation for everything else that follows. Now here is a habit that takes fat flushing to an entirely different level. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Habit number 4. Eat 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily. Ground flaxseed is one of the most underrated fat-eliminating foods on the planet, and the reason comes down to a unique combination of soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, and something called alpha-linolenic acid. Most people have heard that fiber is good for digestion, but they do not understand the specific mechanism that makes flaxseed so powerful for flushing out fat. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and forms a thick gel in your intestines. This gel literally traps fat molecules and bile acids, binding to them so tightly that your body cannot reabsorb them. Instead, they get carried straight out through your stool. A landmark 2015 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tested this exact process and found that participants who consumed 30 grams of ground flaxseed daily excreted 18% more fat in their stool compared to the control group. But that is only half the story. The insoluble fiber in flaxseed adds bulk to your stool, which speeds up transit time through your colon. Faster transit time means your intestines have less opportunity to reabsorb the fat and cholesterol that your body is trying to get rid of. The alpha-linolenic acid, which is an omega-3 fatty acid, reduces inflammation in your gut lining, making the entire elimination process smoother and more efficient. A 2020 study from the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism showed that regular flaxseed consumption reduced LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, by an average of 15% over 12 weeks. That reduction happened because the cholesterol was being bound by fiber and expelled rather than recirculated. Now, preparation matters a lot here. You must use ground flaxseed, not whole seeds. Whole flax seeds pass straight through your digestive system completely intact, and you get almost none of the benefits. Buy them pre-ground or grind them yourself in a coffee grinder. Store the ground flaxseed in your refrigerator because the oils oxidize quickly at room temperature. The best way to eat it is to mix 2 tablespoons into a glass of water and drink about 20 minutes before your largest meal. The timing matters because the gel needs to form in your stomach before the dietary fat arrives. This way, the fiber is already there waiting to trap and bind the fat from your food. Some people stir it into yogurt or oatmeal, and that works perfectly fine too. The key is consistency. The fat binding effect is cumulative, meaning it gets stronger the more consistently you do it day after day. But the next habit might surprise you because it has nothing to do with eating. Habit number 3. Walk for 20 minutes after your biggest meal. Most people think walking is just for burning calories, but the post-meal walk does something far more interesting inside your body that directly increases fat elimination. When you eat a large meal, your blood sugar rises and your body releases insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. Its primary job is to take excess energy and pack it away into fat cells. The faster and higher your blood sugar spikes, the more insulin your body produces, and the more fat gets stored instead of eliminated. A 2013 study published in Diabetes Care found that a 15 to 20-minute walk taken within 30 minutes after eating reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes by an average of 22% compared to sitting. Lower blood sugar means less insulin, and less insulin means your body shifts away from fat storage mode and toward fat elimination mode. But there is another mechanism at play that almost nobody talks about. Walking stimulates something called peristalsis, which is the wave-like muscular contractions that push food and waste through your intestines. A 2020 study in the Scandinavian Journal of Gastroenterology found that light post-meal physical activity increased colonic transit speed by approximately 25%. Faster colonic transit means that the fat bound by bile acids and fiber, especially if you are also doing the flaxseed habit, moves through your system faster and gets eliminated before your intestines can reabsorb it. The researchers specifically noted that the combination of reduced insulin response and faster transit created what they called an additive fat excretion effect. That means these two benefits multiply each other. You do not need to power walk or break a sweat. This is not exercise in the traditional sense. A gentle, comfortable pace is actually better because intense exercise diverts blood away from your digestive system and toward your muscles, which slows digestion down. Just walk at a pace where you could easily hold a conversation. Do it outside if possible because natural light exposure also helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that directly promotes visceral fat storage. The best approach is to finish your largest meal, rest for about 5 minutes, then head out for a casual 20-minute walk around your neighborhood or even around your office building. Research from the University of Limerick showed that people who made this a daily habit for 8 weeks lost significantly more visceral fat than those who walked the same amount but at random times throughout the day. The timing is everything with this one. And the next habit works while you are completely asleep. Habit number 2. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep in a cool, dark room. Sleep is when your body does its deepest metabolic housekeeping, and cutting it short, even by 1 hour, can completely sabotage your fat elimination process. This is not just general wellness advice. The connection between sleep and fat excretion is direct and measurable. A groundbreaking 2010 study from the Annals of Internal Medicine put participants on identical diets but split them into 2 groups. One group slept 8.5 hours per night and the other slept only 5.5 hours. After 2 weeks, the sleep-deprived group lost 55% less body fat despite eating the exact same number of calories. Even more telling, the short sleepers had significantly higher levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone that specifically drives cravings for fatty and sugary foods, and their bodies showed markedly reduced rates of lipid oxidation. Lipid oxidation is the process where your body breaks down stored fat to use as energy or to prepare it for elimination through bile. When that process slows down, fat stays locked inside your cells and organs instead of being processed and expelled. A 2022 study from JAMA Internal Medicine found that participants who extended their sleep from under 6.5 hours to approximately 8 hours naturally reduced their caloric intake by an average of 270 calories per day without being told to diet. Their bodies simply stopped craving excess fuel because the metabolic systems were functioning properly again. The temperature of your room plays a surprisingly important role as well. Research from the National Institutes of Health published in the journal Diabetes found that sleeping in a room cooled to 66 degrees Fahrenheit activated brown adipose tissue, which is a special type of fat that actually burns white fat, the bad fat, to generate heat. Participants who slept in cooler rooms for 4 weeks showed a 42% increase in brown fat activity and a corresponding increase in fat metabolism. To get the maximum fat flushing benefit from sleep, set your bedroom temperature between 64 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Make the room as dark as possible because even small amounts of light disrupt melatonin production, which interferes with the deep sleep stages where fat metabolism peaks. Stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bed so your body can focus on metabolic repair instead of digestion. Remove screens from the bedroom or use blue light filters starting 1 hour before sleep. These are not minor tweaks. The difference between optimized sleep and poor sleep can determine whether your body stores fat or flushes it out day after day. Now, here is the number 1 habit, and honestly, this one changes everything. Habit number 1. Eat a large serving of fermented foods every single day. This is the habit that Harvard researchers called a game changer for fat elimination, and when you understand the science, you will see exactly why it earned the top spot on this list. Your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living inside your intestines, controls far more about fat metabolism than scientists previously believed. A landmark 2021 study from the Stanford School of Medicine, published in the journal Cell, divided participants into 2 dietary groups. One group ate a high-fiber diet and the other ate a diet rich in fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha. After 10 weeks, the fermented food group showed a dramatic increase in microbial diversity, with 19 inflammatory proteins in their blood significantly reduced. The high-fiber group did not show the same results. What does inflammation have to do with pooping out fat? Everything. When your gut is inflamed, the intestinal lining becomes what scientists call hyperpermeable, which you might know as leaky gut. This damage disrupts bile acid metabolism, and bile acids are the exact molecules responsible for breaking down and eliminating fat through your stool. When bile acid cycling is impaired, your body reabsorbs fat instead of excreting it. The fermented food group in the Stanford study showed restored bile acid metabolism within just 72 hours of beginning the diet. Their stool samples contained measurably higher concentrations of excreted lipids compared to baseline. A separate 2019 study from the British Journal of Nutrition found that participants who consumed fermented dairy products daily for 6 weeks lost 4% more visceral fat than those who consumed non-fermented dairy with the same caloric content. The beneficial bacteria in fermented foods, particularly strains of Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium, produce short-chain fatty acids as they digest fiber in your colon. These short-chain fatty acids, especially one called butyrate, strengthen your intestinal wall and optimize the bile acid pathway that flushes fat. A 2020 study in the journal Gut Microbes found that butyrate production increased fecal fat excretion by up to 28% in participants with previously low microbial diversity. The best approach is to eat a variety of fermented foods rather than relying on just one source. Rotate between plain unsweetened yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, and kombucha throughout the week. Aim for at least one full serving at every meal if possible, but at minimum include one generous serving daily. Choose products that say live in active cultures on the label because many commercial versions are pasteurized after fermentation, which kills the beneficial bacteria entirely. If you eat kimchi or sauerkraut, never heat it above 115 degrees Fahrenheit because high temperatures destroy the probiotics. Add it as a topping to dishes after cooking. For yogurt and kefir, choose full-fat versions because the fat actually protects the bacteria as they travel through your harsh stomach acid, allowing more of them to reach your intestines alive and functional. This is the single most impactful habit because it does not just flush fat on its own. It transforms the entire environment of your gut so that every other habit on this list works dramatically better. So there you have it. 5 daily habits that work with your body's natural systems to flush out bad fat through your digestive system. Start with the ones that feel easiest. Build them into your routine one at a time, and give your body a few days to respond. The science is clear, the habits are simple, and the results speak for themselves. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video like this one. Thank you so much for watching.